honesty. Aligning with your higher self can be so challenging sometimes when you are shedding the past. And this year is all about shedding the past to make room for what is meant for you and what is bigger for you and what is like your actual destiny before all of the doubt and fear and like indoctrination started. And it's like ups and downs come with energy. On the new moon, I had like a really good day yesterday, and today was really tough. And I keep finding that cycle. Like every day I have a really good day, all of a sudden the next day is really challenging. And I don't know what this car is doing. Okay. So I am cleaning out the storage unit. I found an RV to buy. I'm looking at getting quotes on selling my SUV and buying a drivable live-in RV. And it's like one of those situations where I prayed for it. I journaled for it. I manifested it. Here it is. The opportunity is in front of me. And then I like panicked and started second guessing myself about everything I was doing. And had a like super challenging morning. And then I went over to my storage unit, which I'm emptying out. I had originally given myself till yesterday to empty it out, and then I realized how much stuff was actually in there. And there's so much. And so I have sold a few things here and there, and am donating a bunch of stuff right now. I do feel a little bit like Santa Claus. I am just driving to Westminster to donate a bunch of stuff, and headed to a spot to gotten 2 quotes on my car. I'm getting a 3rd, and we'll see which one comes in with the right price for the RV. And it's like those doubt things, like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do without there's a laundromat, without a car. You're driving around an RV. And it's like, let go of the material stuff, because it'll come to you. What's meant for you will come to you. You can get an e-bike. My snack. Tried coconut. So, I'm driving to the senior center right now to donate. What do I have for them today? Picture frames, some dried flowers, arts and crafts, candles, wall decor, hanging stuff. I'm going to the local arts council and donating a bunch of stuff for costumes, and going to my kids' daycare to donate arts and craft supplies. I'm in a situation right now where my ex has custody of my kids because I woke up to the Matrix, tapped into my psychic abilities, telepathic abilities, shamanic ability to go in between worlds, which I've been doing forever and just didn't realize that's what I was doing before. Got called crazy, went through a bunch of ego deaths for being like authentic here. And the justice system that exists in America, as we know, is false and manipulative and gives power to the narcissists and those with money. So I don't have custody of my kids right now. And that's the change that we are working on making, because I was afraid to speak up before. shedding all of the physical stuff as well as the emotional stuff comes together. And it's like the ego test that I had to go through in the last year. Like I didn't, it's the inner child healing, and I didn't know how to stand up for myself. Actually, I continued to give others the benefit of the doubt, and was consistently shown that I shouldn't have, that wasn't a reliable choice, that I was going to get thrown under the bus no matter what. And I'm choosing now to have joy, to see that every situation occurred to teach me something, to help me shed something, and that finding my voice was all part of the situation. So, yeah. I don't know, that's just coming out today. Being authentically real. It's been a challenging day, and I'm trying not to be so hard on myself. And you shouldn't either. You shouldn't be so hard on yourself either. It's not healthy. This is, hunt for healthy. And the American justice system is not healthy. The daycare that my kids are in, while I am grateful that they are in a place where they've got friends and they are growing and learning, but it is a Christian school, and I don't agree with everything they're being taught. They're being taught to fall in line, worship Jesus as the only begotten Son of God who came here to die for our sins. And Jesus didn't teach that. Jesus didn't teach us to fall in line. Jesus didn't teach us to sit down and be quiet and follow orders. He was actually a rebel, and he was like really kind of this very introspective, groovy dude who was teaching us mysticism and not this manipulated Christian religion that exists today, that I grew up in as well. And so I'm grateful that my kids are somewhere physically safe, but they also get fed the snacks and stuff that they get fed. The food that is being distributed there is full of sugars and dyes and things that are unhealthy for them, that we just accept in this country as okay to give our kids. And when I started asking questions about it, I was told things fall within the state guidelines. And it's like, okay, well, who's making the guidelines that it's okay to give our kids this stuff? And why aren't we talking about it? Why is everybody just okay with our kids getting pumped full of sugar when we have so much proof of how bad it is for them? And this is the stuff we're giving them as well because it's more cost effective than feeding them fresh fruits and vegetables, or getting the organic versions. And actually, don't get me, I don't want to get started on the organic situation, because why do we have stuff that's organic and inorganic? Everything should be natural. Everything should be organic. And instead it's wrapped in plastic. Instead have preservatives and artificial flavors and artificial colors, and as within, so without. Look at what's going on in America. Most people are artificial on the outside, and you don't really see what's going on behind closed doors. That's how my life was prior to my divorce, and that's what I learned in my family, and that's what a lot of people are learning. It's literally the indoctrinated mindset of family honor and, you know, protecting the whole over protecting self, when Yeshua came to teach us self-love and taking care of yourself is your first priority, because you can't take care of anybody else unless you're taking care of yourself. That's a really hard lesson that I have had to learn, and spent most of my life taking care of other people. But finally, you know, when I put myself first, they were like, let's take her kids away. She's trying to take care of herself. She's trying to heal psychological manipulation. She actually remembers who she is. How dare she? So I want to hear more of your stories as I'm letting mine unfold. I want to hear more from other people. It's the classic narcissist empath relationship that exists because chosen ones, those of us who are here to wake up humanity, we were naturally put in these traumatic style situations. We had lots of trauma bonded relationships. We grew up in families with lots of trauma, and a lot of that was because we had to develop ourselves to crack open and to remember. We came here, we volunteered for this. This is what we wanted to do, to awaken humanity and be leaders. And I self-admittedly have, over the last year, been up and down and felt very powerful in my gift, and then for a little while there allowed myself to have a major backslide. Ooh. I went back into slavery, and we do it to ourselves. I did it out of fear for my kids because my divorce was going on. It was, you know, an energy that was sent back to me as well, because I definitely went through a little spiritual psychosis there, and was so deep into the spirit side that it was like, let me rephrase that, not so deep into the spirit side, but not balancing the divine nature with the human experience, to realize we had, like, action is required. It was just kind of like I was expecting everything to just happen, and it's like, oh no, we're the shift, it's happening through us. Dang, pop, with my bag of recycling over here next to me, because I've been traveling around looking at recycling, and that was one of the things in my divorce that my ex, and not talking bad about it, like, again, I'm not trying to hold negativity, but again, it's an example of the indoctrination of, you know, as within, so without. If you're willing to just throw everything away, pull up a dumpster, dump it all. And it's like, yes, let stuff go, but this is how we pollute our planet, is by just throwing everything in a dumpster and dumping it in a landfill and taking up space on Mother Earth filled with trash, instead of like actually taking stock of what you have and going, okay, what can be reused, what can be recycled, and not in like the hoarding sense of I want to hold on to this because something I can do something with it, because that actually was a big issue for my family and in our house as well. And it's a sign of it is, again, as within so without. When people are hoarding stuff, it is an indication of things that are going on inside, that it's a replacement for love, it's a replacement for emotional support that you need. And again, it's a sign in our society of how we've like literally been manipulated and brainwashed on what true love is. And we think true love is putting everybody else first instead of ourselves, and obedience, and, you know, covering up family secrets for the sake of honor instead of being authentic. Because if you're authentic, like, we shouldn't have secrets, we shouldn't be ashamed of anything. That was also the Garden of Eden, being naked and unashamed. And it's like I've been hiding all this stuff in a storage unit, I've been hiding all this stuff in myself, and I know I'm not the only one going through this, because I've met so many people that have experienced it, and so many people that are stepping into it and really being just completely honest and looking in the mirror, like facing that shadow and facing yourself. Like that's the devil, right? We've been manipulated by Christianity and Catholicism, other religions, to think that the devil is outside of us. It's this, entity that is trying to get us all the time. And you realize, like, we're both halves of the coin inside of us, and working through that to your Christ consciousness, like being so open that there's nothing to be afraid of, that there's nothing to be scared of. Like, that's how you defeat the devil. And I have been bouncing around for months trying to, like, find a place to settle, and it's been out of fear, it's been out of grief, it's been out of holding so much stuff in. It's been about not knowing how to put myself first, or not allowing myself to sit still long enough to find that. And so I was living on campgrounds this summer, just grounding. Everybody's like, what is she doing? And it's like, well, I'm going back to Mother Nature to ground and heal and all that fun stuff. And then it got cold enough. Now it's colder weather, and it's like, I don't want to live in a tent anymore. And Spirit's like, you can change that. Like, you're in control. You're the creator of your reality. And so now finally I started really trying to decide deciding what I wanted, evaluating what I wanted. And there's so much I want to do. That's the hard part. I want to do it all. I want to do everything. And wanting to do all of it at the same time is where you start to have your downfall. And I have been, like, hiding out and holding stuff in, and, like, again, as within, so without. So it's like my car's been chaos. I've been pulling this trailer behind me. I've been bouncing around from Airbnbs to hotels. And now I finally manifested a RV that I think is perfect for me. And like I said, I started second guessing myself. I'm like, what are you doing? And it's like, that's what your shadow side, that's what your devil side wants to do right before you have a big breakthrough, is make you second guess and make you backtrack. And I am not backtracking this time. So I am getting focused on getting the storage unit cleaned out, but also not, like, making myself live in misery every day, all day in there. And finding different organizations that are taking donations and selling what little bit I can, and looking at my next steps that are going to fall in front of me and aligning with my higher self, because all the clutter and the chaos of the stuff and the emotional avoidance has prevented me from really stepping into my full being. And I'm so done with that. Like, it's time to be myself, and it's time to have some fun again, because that is literally who I am. I've always been an entertainer. I have always been, like, the hostess with the mostest. Like, I've always just wanted to feed people and take care of you and make sure you're having fun. And I let myself stop doing that, and it got really unhealthy. And it, like, I'm so tired of isolation, and I just want to empty all this stuff out and be in community and help contribute to this shift in the way that I am here to do. And a lot of that is being a supporter of Yeshua and Mary Magdalene's message, and not supporter, a carrier of. I'm a flame bearer. I'm a freaking flame bearer, right? I'm a badass. I came here to be a badass, and I let some of these people scare me out of it. This is a good spot to take a break. I've been talking for 20 minutes, and I will come back with another update of today's hunt for healthy. I've been fasting. Today I only had water and a mushroom drink. Oh, and the dried coconut. And I need more water, is what my spirit guides are telling me right now. Like, drink more water, please. 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 Drink more water, please, with some salt and some lime. And I have spring water from Berkeley Springs is what I've been drinking. And now I'm in Emmitsburg, and I'm going to go get some spring water from there. And on my next episode, after I drop all this stuff off, I do have a mapping call today with a consultant who does future mapping and alignment with your higher self, to help me find some focus. Because it's okay to ask for help. Everything you need is within you, but you don't have to do it all by yourself. We're here to, we rise by supporting each other's and lifting each other up. But after I drop all this stuff off, I am going to tell you about all the information I found out about the areas that I've been staying. I keep saying I was bouncing around, but I've been in these like 3 main areas. And I found out that they are very incredibly powerful, energetic portal areas, and they create this like triangle that line up with other ley lines in like Giza and Avalon, and some incredibly powerful areas where we're anchoring like the crystal grids and the energy grids around the world right now. So I realized, oh, you're here for grid work. Like, I started doing some land healing, but I didn't realize that these 3 areas that I have been going to, it's really been so much grid work. So much grid work. Now I can focus on that a little bit, but I got to get rid of all the shit, right? All the stuff. And the stuff will come back to you. Whatever's meant for you will come back to you. So I will get rid of this, and if I am meant to have something similar to what's in here, it'll come to me. Okay, so remember that. If it's meant for you, it will come to you. Love you. And God bless. You're a divine being. Love you.